Welcome to the Bill of Rights.
I can say anything I want.
Not exactly. The Bill of Rights, freedom, the United States, America. It's a pretty good thing. That's why people risk their life to get to the United States. The United States is known for freedom, the Bill of Rights. Certainly doesn't mean it's perfect. But that's what we're known for. That's what I like about the wall over here. Here's your thing link. We're on 5, the Bill of Rights. Bill of Rights, educating young people about the Constitution. I don't like that. Bill of Rights, educating all people about the Constitution. Adults need to know this as well if they didn't learn it in 8th grade. First 10 amendments to the Constitution make up the Bill of Rights, written by James Madison in response to calls for greater constitutional protection for individual liberties. Greater constitutional protection for individual liberties. Here's how it went down. The Federalist. John Adams would be an example of a Federalist. James Madison was an anti-Federalist. Federalists argued the Constitution did not need a Bill of Rights. They were embedded. They're already in the Constitution to protect the citizens' rights. Anti-Federalists held that a Bill of Rights was necessary to safeguard individual freedoms, like the right to bear arms, like the freedom of speech or religion. So the Anti-Federalists eventually won, and the Bill of Rights were added to the Constitution in 1791. First Amendment protects personal freedoms. No, we don't have a problem with your religion. It's just we're getting complaints about the flying saucers out front. You can be whatever religion you want. Amendment 1, and I'll just read part of all these. Congress should make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the press or the right of people to assemble. That means gather, have a meeting. Let's go to Sesame Street. Sesame Street came out in 1969. It was a remarkable program and so important. Not every kid went to kindergarten at all. Only those kids got to go to kindergarten. So Sesame Street enabled all kids to learn how to read better, learn how to just communicate, and learn their letters. But it was banned in Mississippi in 1969. They would not show it. Kent from Jackson, I want to watch Sesame Street like all the other cool kids in the United States. Sesame Street was banned. Here's the rest of the story. Sesame Street was banned in Mississippi. Sesame Street, the popular children's show, began in 1969. The show was met with critical acclaim, but was not shown in Mississippi. They did not want to show it because of a racially integrated cast. It went all the way to courts, and the court said, kids have a right to see it. That's the Bill of Rights at work. Say, Ernie, would you like some ice cream? Sure, Bert. Second Amendment, right to bear arms. Going deer hunting again, Phil? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of people to keep and bear arms. It's the Second Amendment. Third Amendment prohibits quartering of soldiers in private homes. You have any more chips? Can you get MTV on this? Hey, guy, our mail's here. No soldier should at any time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner. In war, we're trying to win the war. So some of our rights go away in wartime because we're trying to win the war. Fourth Amendment protects from unreasonable search and seizures. Warrant? Well, I guess you can search the place, but shouldn't you close your eyes and count to 100? Fourth Amendment. The right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures should not be violated. Fifth Amendment. Remember, you don't have to admit to anything. Bob was here. Right to a fair trial. Sixth Amendment. Right to a speedy trial with assistance of a lawyer. Man, this will be a speedy trial. Trials are us, not guilty. Guilty. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused should enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district where the crime should have been committed. Let's go back to this one. This just means you cannot be put in jail for more than 48 or 72 hours, depending on the jurisdiction, without getting charged with a crime. If there's not enough evidence to charge you with a crime, you get let out. If there is, that's called an arraignment, then a trial is set. But they just can't put you in jail forever without charging you. You have the right to a speedy trial. Seventh Amendment resolves disputes with a jury trial. The bad news is we'll have a tough time finding an impartial jury. This is harder today. There's a lot of publicity about alleged crimes, social media, 24/7 news. So sometimes trials are moved out of the county that the crime allegedly happened in. So the jury doesn't know so much about it. It's easier to find an impartial jury. It suits at the common level where the value in controversy should exceed $20. The right of trial by jury should be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury should be otherwise re-examined. So you have the right to a jury trial. Under $20, a judge can decide one person. Excessive bail should not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Amendment 8. Cruel and unusual punishment. Iowa does not use the death penalty. We could. It's a state right. We have the right to use it. But Iowa determined it cruel and unusual in 1976, so it hasn't been used since. Missouri still uses the death penalty today. So does Texas. Amendment 9 protects individual rights not listed. So these rights are not the federal government's rights unless they're listed. They go back to the people. Chill, Dad. I'm pretty sure this haircut is protected by the 9th Amendment. Look at that young fella. Oh, that's Mr. Halstead right there. A long time ago. What happened to that hair? Nice shirt. So rights that aren't specifically given to the federal government go to the people. 10th Amendment protects states' rights. Welcome to the White House, Mr. President. Before you get too comfortable, I'd like to point out these 50 things we call states. Does this mean I get to wear this? No, you don't get to wear that. You're not a king. So anything not given to the people or the federal government goes to the states. States' rights, like speed limits. Iowa gets to set their speed limit. So does Montana, would be an example. So again, the Bill of Rights, really important. It's our rights. That's what the United States is known for. The powers, Amendment 10, not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectively, or to the people, which is the 9th Amendment. So 9th Amendment, people, 10th Amendment, states. 1, freedom of speech. 2, right to bear arms. 3, quartering of soldiers. 4, arrest and seizures. 5, rights of persons accused of crimes. You are innocent till proven guilty. 6, rights of persons on trial for crimes, an impartial jury. 7, jury trials in civil cases if it's over $20. A jury gets to help decide, not just one person. 8, limitations on bail and punishments. 9, rights kept by the people. 10, rights kept by the states are the people. So, Bill of Rights. To those 5th graders, write down what your characters will say and do to explain what the Founding Fathers did to protect the individual rights of citizens. Pick 3 amendments in the Bill of Rights that you think are the most important to explain. How do these Bill of Rights protect that 5th grader's rights at Emerson Elementary or Victory Christian or wherever they go? How does their rights protected by the Bill of Rights? What's it have to do with the 5th graders' lives? I would love to see those connections. I've seen some good ones in the past. Next page. Write down your characters will say and do to explain to students how the Constitution impacts their lives today and why they should know about it. Wrap up your comic book. This is that connection part. This is that 2020 part for that 5th grader and also for you. Which 3 amendments in the Bill of Rights do you believe are the most important in 2020? And make this personal. This is about you. Here's another way to explain it. What are the Bill of Rights? 1 page minimum. Explain what the Founding Fathers did to protect the individual rights of citizens. Pick 3 amendments in the Bill of Rights and explain each in depth with connections to today. Then your last page. Explain to the students how the Constitution impacts their lives today and why they should know about it. Wrap up your comic book. How can it protect their rights? Let's say they want to do this in 20 years or 30 years. How does the Constitution help them have a chance, have hope? So that is the Bill of Rights. Again, America, freedom. That's what the United States is known for. The Bill of Rights. Let's keep them.